Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I have just over 20 books, so these have all been collected between, I want to say, February to April. I have 4 mangas and the rest are books, so yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the mangas first. Okay, so the first one I got is Moriarty the Patriot, and I got this because my best friend is obsessed with this series and she wanted me to get into it. So I found volume 1 on Vinted. I think I paid like £1 for this, and honestly I don't know when I get to it because I don't really think it's my thing, and like if it wasn't per I wouldn't be picking this one up, but I want to give it a go. Then I also on Vinted found the Tangled manga, and I had been eyeing this up in Waterstones but didn't really want to pay £10 for it, so someone was selling it for £1, so I picked it up and it looks really cute. Tangled is my favourite Disney princess movie, so I'm just really looking forward to actually sitting down and reading this one. And then the next two I got are also Disney ones, but I found these on Vinted again. So they're Big Hero 6 ones, and I paid £15 for both of these, but I believe if I bought them on Amazon they were like £15 each, so a little bit more pricey than I would normally spend on secondhand books, but I really wanted these. Baymax is my favourite Disney character, and yeah, I still haven't read these yet, but I am super excited. I don't know what happens in them, but yeah, whenever I see something Baymax I have to buy it. So so I will start off with the Waterstones purchases. So the first one I got was If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan, and I was very hesitant. I wasn't gonna pick this up because I've heard it's very emotional, and I don't really tend to read emotional books. Like, I read for escapism, so I don't really be reading something that's gonna make me cry. But I just heard so many good things about this, so I wanted to pick it up for myself. After I bought it, I posted a TikTok and the sound was something like, what's a popular book you've bought but are scared to read? And I showed this, and then like most of the comments were actually saying it's not very good or they didn't like it. So I thought I was going to pick this up, but it's been on my shelf for like maybe 6 weeks, and yeah, I have like mixed feelings towards it, but I'm gonna give it a go at some point. I feel like I need to be in the right headspace, but yeah, I've heard mixed opinions about it. I don't really know too much about what it's about, but yeah, let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it. And the second book from Waterstones is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. So my local Waterstones runs a monthly book club, and this is this month's pick, and I've never attended their book club before, but this book had been on my TBR for ages, so I'm trying to get more out of my comfort zone. So I bought the book. I haven't yet read it. I'm gonna read it. I'm hopefully gonna start reading it today, and I'm gonna try and get myself to attend their book club. I've heard lots of hype about this. I know it has vampires in it, and vampires are like one of my like favorite paranormal things in books, so I have really high hopes for this. I'm hoping it's going to be a 5-star. Our female main character has to marry the male main character, so I'm assuming it's going to be like enemies to lovers, so excited for this one. So then we get on to the works, and I feel like I cannot leave the works when I go in without buying a book because their deals are just so good. So I'll start off with a series I picked up in there recently, and that is it the Windy City series, I believe? So book 1 is Mile High. Then we have Right Move and Caught Up by Liz Tom Ford. So I had previously read Mile High on Kindle and absolutely loved it. So I wanted to get the physical copy and continue the series in physical copies. So I am so excited to own these. Mile High was one of my favourite books that I read last year, so I'm honestly surprised I haven't got to these yet. But these are all sports romances. I believe they follow different sports. This one is a hockey player and a flight attendant. The male main character Ryan in Right Move is a basketball player, I believe, and this is fake dating, which is my least favourite trope, but I have high hopes that I'm gonna like it in this one. And then Caught Up, the male main character Kai is a baseball player. So I've been really loving sports romance, and yeah, these two are like at the top of my TBR. Then I picked up Still Unwritten by Caroline Corey. This was in the 3 for £6 deal. So this one that sounded really interesting. This one we follow Fran, who is an actress, and she's auditioning for a major TV role, and if she doesn't get it, like, she's done as an actress, which is when our male main character, and I am probably going to say his name completely wrong. I think it's Jae Sung. I'm not 100% sure. I've probably completely butchered that. He is the lead singer of a K-pop band, I believe. So I think he helps Fran with her audition and to get her to be like the star that she needs to be. The cover was cute and it sounded good. So in the same trip, the other 2 books I got in that 3 for £6 deal. So I got Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. Picked this up straight away. Never heard of it, but it had vampire in the title, so I had to pick it up. In this one we have Julian, who is a vampire, and he stumbles into Thea at a gala, who is a human. She doesn't know anything about the vampires or his world, and he needs a fake girlfriend because his family, I think, are trying to like find him someone. So Julian makes Thea an offer to pretend to be his lover and he'll change his life. So for a year they have to like attend social events and just fake date to get the people off his back. But it sounds like inevitably they're gonna fall in love. So again, fake dating, not my favourite trope. And I feel like recently I've been picking up a lot of fake dating books, even though I know it's not my favourite trope, because they sound like they have potential for me to enjoy them. So I'm really hoping I am gonna like this one. And then the final one from that trip in the deal, I got The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I have heard so many good things about this book. In this one we follow Cassie. I believe she has an OnlyFans account, and Aiden, the male main character, is like subscribed to it, and then he needs a nanny and she shows up to be his nanny, and then they realise, you know, who the other one was through like their online relationship. And yeah, I've just heard so many great things about this one. Like, I've been really liking nanny romances at the minute, and I feel like the whole OnlyFans thing is quite a twist. Then I picked up My Dark Romeo. This is by Parker S. Huntington and LJ Shen. The cover of this is really cool. This one, again, I don't know too much about it. This sounds like, I'm not 100% sure because I've not really looked too much into it, but it sounds like it is an enemies to lovers, like maybe a bully romance, because it says, to him I'm a chess piece, leverage his rival's betrothed. So maybe it's a bit of a love triangle as well. But again, this is like another one that I've heard lots of good things about. I have read a few books by LJ Shen and I haven't really been a fan, so I'm a bit nervous to pick this one up. Then I picked up Bully by Penelope Douglas. I have read a couple of books by Penelope Douglas. Some have been hits and some have been misses, but I didn't know that they had this in the works, so when I went in and saw this, I grabbed it straight off the shelves because I was really surprised. This is a bully romance, as you can tell by the title. This one, Tate was bullied by Jared and they went away for a year, but now they've come back and they're not gonna let him ruin their life anymore, and they are gonna fight back. So this sounds like it's going to be really good, and I feel like there's going to be lots of tension in this, which I love in books. Next, I picked up Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I read Binding 13 in January and absolutely loved it. It was my favourite book of the month, and I immediately wanted to continue with the series, but I saw that they put them in the works, so I was holding off to read it until I could pick up the copy in the works, and none of my ones in the area had it for ages. So I read Binding 13, like I said, in January. It's now April and I've still not picked this one up, but I think I'm going to try and get to it this month because I just loved Binding 13 so much, and I really want to continue with all the books in The Boys of Tommen. Then I picked up Night Shift by Annie Crown. This was a complete cover buy when I first saw it in the works. This is the story of Kendall and Vincent. So Kendall works in her university library and Vincent is the captain of the basketball team, and he wants some recommendations. And Kendall is a big romance reader, and so she finds herself falling into her very own romance novel. But having a sporty male main character but a bookish female main character just seems like this is going to be the absolute perfect book for me, and I just cannot get over how cute the cover is. So then I picked up Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I absolutely loved the Dreamland Billionaire series. It's one of my all-time favorite series. So of course, when her new series came out, I had to pick it up. I think the next book comes out in June. The female main character is called Ellie, so like I need that book. I'm so excited for that one. But this is Julian and Dahlia's story, and again it sounds like an enemies to lovers, which is my all-time favorite trope. It's quite chunky, but I love Lauren Asher, so I feel I'm gonna love this. And then I also picked up Next of Kin by Hannah Bonham Young, and this I wasn't sure if I was ever gonna pick it up, but then I saw it in the works and it was like £3, and I've heard nothing but good things about this one, so I went ahead and picked it up. This one we have two characters, Chloe and Warren, and I believe they are both having to, it's either foster or like adopt one of their family members, so they move in together so that they can do this for the siblings that they're trying to look after, and obviously they're going to fall in love. So I think this is going to be another quite emotional read, but like I said, I've heard absolutely nothing but good things about this, so I'm excited. And the last three ones are ones I actually picked up yesterday. So I found Grayson's Vow by Mia Sheridan. Like, I didn't even know they had this in the works. I also picked up Travis. I knew they were selling this one, but didn't know they were doing this one. So I haven't read anything by Mia Sheridan. I feel Archer's Voice is the book by them that I have heard the most about. Start off with Grayson's Vow. Is Kira and Grayson. Kira needs to get married to access an inheritance that's been left for her, and Grayson is a convicted felon with a vow to resurrect his family's struggling vineyard. And then Kira enters his office and proposes a win-win business marriage deal that he can't refuse. So again, I'm guessing they end up falling in love throughout this, but like I have high hopes for this because I've just heard so many great things about Mia Sheridan. And then Travis. So Travis is the police chief in a idyllic town in Maine, and then the female main character is Haven. They form an unlikely friendship. So it sounds like she is trying to get with another guy, but Travis is going to try and help her with that. So I feel like this is going to be like a slow burn, and there's going to be some denial between how they are really feeling as this builds up, but it's not a particularly long book, so yeah, gorgeous cover, high hopes. And then the final book of this haul, I was about to say like I think this is the one I'm most excited for, but I don't know if it is because I'm really excited for Keeping 13, but I got Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is her newest book. I have got one book left of the Chestnut Spring series, and I was holding it off because I didn't want it to end, but I feel like now I can read it because I can start this new series. This is the story of Ford and Rosie. So Ford is labelled the world's hottest billionaire. He wants to escape the press and open a recording studio in the small town of Rose Hill. Then he comes face to face with a young girl who claims he's her biological father. And then we have Rosie, who returns to the town and needs a job, so Ford hires her and he vows to keep her at arm's length, but their verbal sparring is a type of foreplay friction that soon turns to blistering heat. So Ford knows he shouldn't cross the line, but shouldn't and can't are two very different things. So this is a predicted 5-star. I've absolutely loved everything that I've read by Elsie Silver so far, and I just can't wait to start a new series. Yay, so they are all of the books that I picked up over the last 3 or so months. I'm thinking I might now just do like a quarterly book haul. I'm really excited to get to all of these books. Let me know if you've read any of these, what your opinions are of them. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again next week.